been more than 20 years since there's been a primary election like the one that's going on right now in Quincy. There's only one contested issue on the ballot. It's the race for mayor. Volunteers in the Gulf Coast don't have time to organize all of the aid that they're receiving. Looking at the extensive damage, it's hard to believe that this brick wall, just 18 inches, is all that separated Jared and Miranda from the fire that was raging next door. At about 6 o'clock last night, 84-year-old Bill Gilson, you can see his picture here, walked out of the doors of the vet's home. He was unescorted. He's been missing now all night. He held Quincy's top spot, and now he says he wants his job back. The buildings behind me here are the last remaining original structures along Quincy's riverfront, and they were originally owned by Quincy's famed businessman Clat Adams. And you can see where the wall stops, just short of the original bricks that are all that the fire left behind. This quilt represents that AIDS is in our community. In fact, the health department says that the numbers are high given the size of Adams County. Utility men service about 20 calls per day. When a new order is placed or an outage occurs, it comes across on this mobile data system. And while the new technology provides easier access to information like grades and billing for students, it also makes that access easier for parents. Jake and Jennifer, nurses at the Illinois Veterans Home, knew Bill Gilson wanted to leave. They wrote reports saying he was disoriented and homesick. WGEM News has obtained the nurses' notes. They shed light on the final days of his life. Department of Veterans Affairs and the Illinois Department of Public Health have completed separate investigations. Neither department has made their report public at this time. The Department of Veterans Affairs says that patient privacy laws restrict any comment on the contents of Gilson's health file. WGEM will continue following the story and bring you the latest as the investigation continues to unfold. Reporting live in the studio, Catherine Bergerson, WGEM News.
This is WGEM Live at 5.
Good evening and welcome to Live at 5. Les has the night off. In tonight's top story, fatal crashes are down in Illinois as police crack down on drivers who don't wear their seatbelts. Jury selection for former Governor George Ryan's racketeering trial continues today in Chicago. Bankruptcy filings have surged as financially strapped Americans race to beat new, tougher laws. The number of filings broke a record last quarter. eBay is buying Skype Technologies. eBay is paying at least $2.6 billion for the internet telephone company that has more than 50 million users. And now hurricane victims can have the same peek at potential toxic hotspots that may be seeping into their backyards.
Will the sun rise tomorrow?
I was going to say, I think we know the answer. We'll have to find out just how much. Right. Yeah. Also, a new proposal could mean DVDs released at the same time the movie hits the theater. Those stories and more coming up next on Live at 5. We are live from the Flower City Festival in Palmyra.
That's right, we are. And you know what? It is starting to cool off just a little bit.
The temperatures are getting more and more comfortable as we sit here.
I think Brian's prediction of it getting better is happening as we're here. So
good prediction, Brian.
Can't happen too soon.
No, you got it. Well, back to the news. The Discovery astronauts got the best possible news today about a potential problem with the shuttle. A Colorado farmer is having a blast with his pumpkin patch.
That all started with a festival in a town called Lewis, Delaware some years ago. It's called the Pumpkin Chunkin' Fest.
Oh no, love it. Oh well,
so
maybe a lot of pumpkin pie to go around.
There you go.
It seems unthinkable that just 4 days after the Virginia Tech massacre and on the anniversary of the Columbine killings that someone in Lee County would make a threat against students. But when the Lee County sheriffs got a tip on Crime Stoppers, parents said they weren't taking any chances.
Picking them up.
Teachers tried to keep the day as normal as possible, but with this many students leaving, there were obviously many disruptions. In North Fort Myers, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. This is the entrance of Dog Beach, and take a look at this. Just to get to the small sliver of beach, you've got to trek through 3-foot-deep waters for at least 100 yards. As you can see, right now is high tide and Dog Beach is practically underwater. So if you want to avoid the wet walk, log on to our website, abc-7.com. We've got the daily high and low tides listed there. At Dog Beach, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. In Estero, the road's known as Three Oaks Parkway. And when you move south to Bonita, it's known as Imperial Parkway. And when you get here to Naples, it becomes Livingston Road. Stuck in the middle, Bonita wanted to try something new, but it didn't go over well with residents. Outside, the charred house is still standing. Inside, though, is a total loss. This story has a unique twist. Meet the gentle pit bull Chato, who saved the woman who was asleep inside. To help Jerica get back on her feet, the American Red Cross stopped by to provide assistance. We also spoke with the Fort Myers Fire Department, who say today is an important reminder about smoke detectors. If you don't have one, stop by your local fire department and pick one up. Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. It seems like the sidewalks along Fifth Avenue are getting a bit more crowded each and every day. And with recent snows in New York and Michigan, it means seasonal residents may be making the trip south a bit earlier than usual. And if it's starting to seem a bit crowded now, just wait. The next big wave of people are expected to hit town the week of Thanksgiving. And of course, the height of season starts January 1st. Reporting along Fifth Avenue in downtown Naples, I'm Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. Investigators say this Pride hinge is where the arsonist got inside shortly after flames were shooting 10 feet into the air. Now all that's left are these charred remains. Right now, investigators say they're researching all leads, including that beige sedan that was seen here at the time of the fire. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Lee County Sheriff's Office. In Lehigh Acres, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. Hot spots are still burning all along the ground here at the Picayune Strand, and as you look to the sky, leaves are frozen from the wind and fire that blew through. The Division of Forestry says the worst may not be over. The Division of Forestry says based on how the winds shift, Alligator Alley could open or close at any time. Stay tuned to ABC-7 for the latest on fire watch and road conditions. In Collier County, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. Taking a look at the crews at work here, it seems like they're clearing a new construction site, but actually they're scraping the bottom of Lake O, and the work they're doing today could affect the water quality for Lee and Collier counties. Looking at this mucky soil, you'd never know we were standing at the bottom of Lake O, but the severe drought presents a rare opportunity. Crews can actually come in, clean up the muck, and expose the fresh, healthy sand. Taking a look at these trees, that's normally the water line. Crews expect to scrape up about 500,000 cubic yards of muck. That's enough to fill Dolphin Stadium. The crews say they'll work until rainy season forces them out. On Lake O, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. Fortune 500 leaders are descending on Naples. The airport has already closed a taxiway, and it's considering turning a runway into a parking lot to accommodate all of the jets. Now add this to the mix. Also on Friday, Yellow Air Taxi will begin commercial flights to Key West. You can expect ABC-7 to be here for its inaugural flight. At the Naples Airport, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. At first, the $10 million was considered dirty money. Then Lee County organizers decided not so fast. They'll take the money as long as the county can drive the way it's spent. This is where Coconut Road ends right now. Looking just to the east, you can see where it would connect to I-75. Here's the important distinction today. The Florida Department of Transportation will begin the study immediately, but now the MPO has the final say. In Lee County, Catherine Bergerson, ABC-7 News. Good evening. By now, the kids are probably in bed trying to get a good night's sleep before the first day. And even if you're not dropping off the kids, your morning could be hectic. So ABC-7 is working to make your morning commute as smooth as possible. Now, one of the busiest areas will be Airport Pulling Road. That is your look ahead at traffic and roadways. I'm Catherine Bergerson. Have a great first day of school.